Hello and welcome to my video, and today I wanted to do a really quick video on tricks and tips for buying products from selling sites, because if you've watched any of my videos you'll hear me going on about selling sites all the time. And I don't know about you, but some of the things I buy, for example Lush products, are a major treat. And they are expensive, so whenever I can I look out for them on selling sites. And also I buy Body Shop online as well, and Beauty Pie. I buy lots of things from certain selling sites. So yeah, I just thought I'd go through some of the mistakes I've made so that you don't do the same things. My number one tip is, if you're thinking of buying anything from anybody, you've decided what you're going to buy, is ask them to package the item properly. I know it sounds ridiculous and we shouldn't have to do this, but a lot of people don't package things properly. This is an example. So I found this Nana shower gel. I've never tried it before, so I wanted to try it. And I asked if they could package it in a box with some padding so that it didn't get damaged in transit. And this is what arrived. And also you can see that the level of the shower gel, there was quite a lot missing. And this shower gel bottle was full, but when it arrived, it came in a plastic bag with no padding at all, no packing peanuts. And the gel had leaked out of the bottle, so the cap had come undone slightly. It wasn't done up very well in the first place, I'm assuming, but it had come undone. There was no sellotape on the cap, so when I opened the bag there was shower gel everywhere. And yeah, so some of the gel's missing. Really lucky that the whole lot wasn't missing actually. So yeah, that is one of my top tips, is whenever you're buying anything, especially like products like this, ask them to package them properly. So here is an example of something that's been packaged perfectly. So they've put sellotape around the lid so that if the bottle does get squished, then it's not going to push the lid off, so it's going to stay on. And this was also inside a box with some, I can't remember if it was packing peanuts or bubble wrap, so absolutely perfect packaging from this seller. This, on the other hand, when I saw it on my doorstep, this is a candle from Beauty Pie, and I do like some of the Beauty Pie products. Any of you that use Beauty Pie, let me know. I'm not signed up to the Beauty Pie membership scheme. I just look out for things on selling sites again, because it just works out cheaper that way. And I'm not committed to have to keep buying things every month, because you tend to have to pay a monthly membership fee. Anyway, I found this candle. I asked if they could package it up really carefully with padding in a box. Here's one that I bought recently, and as you can see, the vessel itself is made of glass, so I don't know why they didn't even at least put it inside a box. But yeah, these are lovely candles. And this one came in another box with packing peanuts and bubble wrap in, so that was perfect packaging again. Whereas this one, just, I mean, bless, they did wrap it up in some cute wrapping paper, which was lovely of them, with bubble wrap, but then it just came in a plastic bag. So when I saw this on my doorstep in the plastic bag, not in a box, I immediately knew that when I opened it up there was going to be something nasty going on inside. So yeah, this is literally just smashed to pieces. So all the glass in here, all around the edge, is broken. So I haven't even opened it up completely, because I wanted to show you in the video as well. So yeah, with this one I did get a full refund, because I sent them photos. I said, look, this is how it's arrived, and they were very apologetic, and they couldn't believe they hadn't sent it in the box because they'd forgotten it was glass. So, but hats off for them for giving their full refund straight away. Okay, and then this is another little item. I don't know if you can tell what it is from this, but this is another item that came in a jiffy bag. It had been wrapped up in a little bit of bubble wrap, but not very much. And this was actually a scrubby. So yeah, this came in about 4 bits when it arrived. Once again, I just get frustrated when people don't put things in boxes with padding, because it just protects things. A bit like our Lush deliveries, they come in a box, don't they? Or Body Shop deliveries. And it's not only those products you've got to be careful with, but it's also body spray. So I ordered this body spray, this was last year now, this is before Christmas. And this was a full bottle, but when it arrived, it was completely empty. It obviously got twisted in transit, and when it arrived, the Jiffy bag smelled absolutely lovely because it just soaked up all the Snow Fairy spray. Even my postie commented on it and they said, oh, you've got a lovely smelling Jiffy bag there. But yeah, completely empty. Once again, I had to get a full refund because there's just nothing in there. But you can get some really nice things on selling sites, and you can also get things that have been discontinued. Here is an example of something I found on a selling site recently, and I know some of you guys are going to be really excited. I found some Snow Fairy shampoo bars. So these two guys, and these came up packaged really well. So they came in a bag, inside a box, inside another box. So these came perfectly wrapped. And I am going to include one of these in my 750 subscriber giveaway. And then the other one I'm going to save for my, one day when I get there, my 1000 subscriber giveaway. So when I saw these two, I thought that would be perfect for my giveaway. So yeah, you can get some really nice things on selling sites. Now this is just an example, but even if you order bath bombs or if you order a gift set, ask them to put it inside another box, because for example, I had a box like this arrive. Somebody had 2 loose bath bombs in here and they didn't put any packing and they didn't wrap up the bath bombs, and when the bath bombs arrived, I opened the box and it was just a pile of bath bomb dust. I ordered a gift set as well, and when it arrived, they hadn't put it inside another box, so it just gets battered and thrown around in transit because it ends up on conveyor belts, it ends up in sacks of other parcels, so it gets squashed. So yeah, that is my absolute top tip, because over quite a few months I was getting fed up with receiving things damaged, so I ask everybody to package things up well now. So I might leave these in view, example of good packaging versus bad packaging. Once again, this is mistakes I made, so learn from my mistakes. I saw this huge tub of magic crystals, 625 gram, on a selling site, and it was a really cheap price. I mean, it was like less than half price, and I thought, wow, what a bargain. So I jumped on it quickly and I bought it. When I opened it up, it was half empty. And I went back to the description, and the last photo showed the product levels, that showed it was half empty. And this was on a selling site where you're not supposed to sell things that have been used. So that's what caught me out. But I didn't look at all the photos because I quickly jumped on it thinking, oh, I don't want to miss out. So check all the details, check the description, check the photos. In the end, I didn't lose out. This ended up being the same price as I would have bought it from Lush, but for a smaller pot. So I didn't really lose out money, but it was still a bit of a surprise. Okay, and then this was another item I bought. Once again, anything, if possible, check the expiry date. This one didn't have a photo of the expiry date, so I didn't ask, I didn't check. But if you ever see this old green Lush logo, beware, because that could mean it's a very old product. It's a full container. She had a photo of it with the lid off, and I thought, yeah, that's a really good price. But look at the expiry date, so it's very old, and this wasn't in a photo. She hadn't noticed it either. And when I opened it up, it smelt rank. This does not smell of peppermint at all. It just smells really old and musty and horrible. So I messaged her straight away, and bless her, she was so apologetic. She hadn't even think to check the date. And yeah, she hadn't noticed, so she gave me a full refund immediately, which was absolutely fine. Mistakes happen, people make mistakes. But yeah, if you're looking to buy things, I would definitely check expiry dates or ask for the expiry date if there isn't a photo of one. Okay, so another product I want to mention are naked products, and the reason for that is because I have been stung twice by buying naked products, so I'm going to be very aware in the future. So I bought a bundle of items from a seller, and she had described them as all new and unused, and yeah, she was right, they weren't used. And I bought, I think, 2 massage bars. One of them was a king of skin as well, and then I can't remember what the other one was, but there were 4 items. And when they arrived, but before I even opened the box, they smelt absolutely rank. And when I opened it, it just smelt really old and musty, and you just wouldn't use anything like that on your body. I messaged her saying that yes, they're all unused, but they're just unusable. And she actually got quite angry from her messages. And in the end, I had to get the selling site, which was Vinted, involved. And they said that I could return everything, but I would have to pay return postage, which I thought was wrong. That is one thing I disagree with. I think if something is not described accurately, why should the buyer have to pay return postage? So I strongly disagree with that. Anyway, I sent them back because I wanted the majority of my money back, and she said that she hadn't received them. She was clearly lying because I had proof of postage with a tracking number unbeknown to her, and I could see I had proof that it had been delivered to her house. So that is my other tip. If you do need to return anything, make sure you get proof of postage, or even better, get signed for delivery, so that nobody can fib and lie, because sadly there are some liars out there in the world. And so yeah, in the end I did get my money back. But yeah, I'd be very cautious buying naked products unless you know it's a new release. For example, if it's something that's come out in a subscription box and it's not been around for ages, then you know that's a fairly new release. And then this is an item I got this year. The seller was quite crafty actually, because they had a photo of the recent advent calendar with this sitting on top, except I don't think it was this one, it was the one that they had in the box. But then when I ordered it, when it arrived, it's this one, and this one I think is from last year or the year before, because this is not as fresh as the one that I've been using in the bathroom. I mean, it still has a scent, I will still use it, but yeah, just be very careful getting naked products. I don't find the shampoo bars are as bad actually. I have ordered a few shampoo bars and they're normally okay. It's more things like massage bars in particular, and some soaps as well. Just be careful if you know they haven't been around for a while in particular. My other top tip is, if you're buying anything, have a look and see what else the seller is selling. So I will often buy 3 or 4 things at a time if they are selling other things, just to offset the postage and the selling site fees. Now, something else I get asked every now and again in some comments is which selling sites would I recommend, and for me, outright winner, especially if you're new to buying on selling sites, is eBay by a long way. And the reason I say that is because you can straight away, you can see what the fees are, you can see what the postage fee is, and also the most important thing I found is that I get the best protection from eBay. For example, I ordered a bottle of body spray, and when it arrived, it was advertised as brand new. When it arrived, it wasn't brand new. I could tell just even by weighing it that it was a third empty. So I messaged the seller, they ignored me. I messaged them again a couple of days later, they still ignored me. So I got eBay involved. I messaged eBay, and within 3 hours, I didn't expect a full refund at all. I was just expecting, say, like a third refund, which I thought was fair. But eBay gave me a full refund, which I was really surprised at. So eBay, I find, has given me the best protection. I also had another parcel that didn't turn up. It had 4 items in it from the Christmas range. It never arrived. I messaged the seller. once again, sometimes they ignore you, and I think, why do you ignore someone? Because they're just going to go straight to eBay. And yeah, they ignored me for 2 messages, so I got eBay involved, and once again eBay gave me a full and complete refund. So eBay, I think, in that respect, absolutely brilliant. So if you're worried about buying on selling sites, I would look at eBay first. The other sites that I use have a little bit more risk. So I use Vinted, I use Depop, I use Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace is the most risky because you don't really have that much backup, so I don't use that one too often. Anything I would say with Vinted is that you don't have as much protection as you do with eBay. For example, that person I told you that sold me the naked products that weren't as described, I had to pay return postage, which I just think is just really unfair. But you don't get that with eBay. I've had to return something to somebody on eBay years ago and the seller had to pay the postage. So that's why I recommend eBay the most. Same with Depop. I buy a few things on Depop. I did buy a bundle of items that somebody had advertised, and when the bundle arrived there was an item missing, so I messaged the seller and said, oh, this item isn't in here. She accused me of being a liar, which I thought was really uncalled for. I got Depop involved and their response was for me to return everything to her to get a full refund, but I would have to pay postage again, which I don't understand that logic. If something isn't as described, then it should be down to the seller to pay the return postage. If I got something and I changed my mind or it didn't fit, then yeah, I pay return postage. But if it isn't as described, I think this is where Vinted and Depop, they need to change their policy, because I think that is very wrong. Also, another top tip is if you do have an issue with anything that has arrived, raise it ASAP. I ordered some items from somebody on Vinted. I messaged the seller and she promised to give me a partial refund. She said she'd do it the next day. The next day she hadn't done it still, so I messaged her again, and the day after that Vinted gave her all her money, so I never got a partial refund. So don't trust anyone, is what I would say. If you have an issue, raise it on the system immediately. Don't trust the seller. Don't trust. And I am trustworthy, but I just don't trust anybody anymore, because I have become a victim of trusting people. Another selling site that I've never used is Shpock, so I can't comment on that one. I have looked on there, I just never see anything that comes up, and their fees and postage fees are so high that often it's just not worth buying on there. So if you have used Shpock, let me know what you think. Let me know if you try buying from Vinted, Depop, eBay, other selling sites. Yeah, so those are some of my top tips, and from experience I do tend to find I don't get so many issues with items that I've bought that are from the body shop though. But then I'm not buying so many naked products like this or bath bombs, and they tend to turn up absolutely fine most of the time. The only time I did have a problem with Body Shop is when I ordered 5 hand creams and they just sent them in a paper envelope, and when they arrived there was only 2 left. There was a hole in the envelope and 3 were missing. But once again, I had bought those on eBay, and as soon as I messaged the seller, they gave me a partial refund for the 3 hand creams that weren't there, which is absolutely fine once again. So yes, eBay is my top site if you want to buy anything. And if you've got any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments. I will have a video coming up shortly to show you some retro items that I have bought on selling sites. And I tend to find I have less issues with scents from the shower gels than I do anything else. The shower gels really do last a long time, and I have some really good shower gels to show you. So look out for that video. But thank you very much for watching this one. I hope it was helpful, especially for some of you that haven't used selling sites before. And I will hopefully catch you on the next video. bye.